Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Rob back with kind of like my first 30 days with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. I'm going to talk about some good things. I'm going to talk about some bad things about this phone. Some things that I kind of hope. There are things that is on my bad list that can possibly be addressed with software updates. And there's one big item that I think will have to probably be addressed either by just the overall maintenance of the phone and just how I approach taking care of the phone, So, but you'll understand what I mean a little later in the video when I get to that part. But for the most part, I really like this phone a lot. Very lightweight. The cameras are surprisingly good. The software experience is top notch. Samsung always bring to the table some of the best software experience when it comes to any of their products, whether it's this Fold or it's anything in the S25 lineup. If you have had a Samsung, the phone is a joy to work with. Very easy to customize, very easy to personalize this phone, which is what I like about this phone. And one of the biggest improvements, in my opinion, so far since using it, is that the phone, when it's folded, has a much more usable experience. Is way more usable, in my opinion, than previous folds, and that kind of stopped me from actually picking up the last couple of folds. I was really into them when they first came out, but that cover screen was so unusable. This iteration, this is a much more usable phone. And I think if you can get more usage out of a phone when it's in this folded form and you don't have to go to the tablet form just to do the basics of what a regular phone can do. And but I mean again, a lot of people don't mind it, but to me it was somewhat annoying that when I had the older phones that I would just even have to open it just to do a simple text message, which is something I should have been able to do in its folded form. So that was always annoying to me, but I'm glad that's been solved. Uh, I think this phone could have probably been maybe another millimeter or two wider. I think that would have been perfection, but you know, it's very usable now. Software wise, uh, Samsung's One UI is great. I gotten my August update. Now I would like to see more One UI software updates come. Again, like I said, cameras is great. Using this phone in tablet form has been great. I kind of use it a little differently than most people. Well, I use it. I don't use what they call the same screen when you open it. I kind of got it set up where I don't have that cover screen mirroring on. But overall, like I said, the first 30 days, the experience with this phone has been top notch. But let's talk about some things that kind of surprised me. Now, first off, like I said, the lightweight of this phone, I really thought it might have been something that was more along the lines of the honeymoon period. But this phone is really light, and one of my biggest concerns was how pocketable this phone is in comparison to other phones. And in my opinion, it's even more pocketable than the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Again, like I said, I noticed the way you organize the fold can make a huge difference in how you use it. And I kind of, like I said, split mine in what I call like two personalities. On the outside cover screen, like I said, I have my everyday apps set there for quick access. Stuff like messaging, some of my financial apps, and some social media apps. And I got the inside tablet screen set up, for more like reading, streaming, and then I do have a few smart home apps there. So basically, when it's folded, that's daily driver. When it's tablet mode, it's more like media and an e-reader. Now, it's like I said, this phone is not perfect, But let me start with one of my first complaints, and that's with Android Auto. That thing is very annoying from time to time. Now, every time sometimes I just want to plug my phone in just to charge, or even just to connect to Bluetooth. I'm not interested in using Android Auto, but I keep getting the message beeping, like it's trying to connect to Android Auto, and it feels like the phone is yelling at me while I'm driving. Definitely something, I kind of hope Samsung smooths out with a software update. And again, like I said, then there's the display. Uh, the displays are gorgeous, but the fingerprint smudges are off next level, especially when it's in tablet form. Uh, it's a total fingerprint magnet, and I've been experimenting with like different style wallpapers to help mitigate the fact that I see a lot of fingerprint markings on the display. Now, speaking of apps, like I said, I had a problem with the Good Lock Home. And the module that's really been giving me problems is the Home Up module. And it's been kind of a headache. Now, it doesn't play nice when the phone is in its tablet form. And to me, it seems like the only way I probably can fix that problem is to take the whole screen down and rebuild my home screen, because it has some funny glitches with the apps being layered over each other and not playing right in this format. So I think that's something that can be fixed via a software update. Now, we'll talk to battery life. Now, I've charged up to 95%. So I do that to try to promote long time battery health. And I do know that I am starting at 95% as my max level. But to me, it just still seems like this battery drains just a tad faster than it should drain. It's not like draining all the way drastically, like jumping 20 or 30 percentage points, but it is noticeably uh, a noticeable drain on it. So after nearly a month, here's where like I actually land. Now I actually like the Galaxy Z Fold 7, but do I like it more than the S25? I do. Don't get me wrong. There are, like I said, some tweaks I would love to see. And maybe I will dive into those in much more depth in another video. But overall, this foldable has become my personal favorite. Now, does it mean it's my phone of the year? Not exactly. The price is still way up there, and let's be honest, it's still marketed as kind of like a niche device. But if we're just talking about like my day-to-day personal choice, this is it. This is like my favorite phone right now. So that's my 1 month take on the Galaxy Z Fold 7. If you enjoyed this video breakdown, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell for more videos like this, and I'll see everybody in my next one. Talk to you later.